What's going on, guys? So before we get this video started, if you would like to donate to the podcast, you can hit us up on Cash App at the gifted exchange really quick if you would like to donate. Enjoy the video.
Hey, what's going on? This is the Gifted Exchange with Lloyd,
Nehemiah,
J. Cole.
There we go.
All right, so I'm gonna be your host today. You know, yours truly. Just playing, but a little recap from our first intro video. I would like to say, we'll all like to say thank you for watching, supporting. Also, thank you for the feedback. And guess what, guys? We back here again.
We here again, man.
Yeah.
Exactly. So our topic for today is going to be motivation through adversity. And we're going to have J. Cole, Joshua Coleman right here. He's going to tell us about what motivation is. Then we're going to pass it to Nehemiah. He's going to tell you what adversity is. Take it over, Jay.
All right, so the thing is, motivation is like a spark. So we'll just say, keep it in layman's terms, it's like the engine. The engine, when you press the gas, is going to ignite the spark plug. And that's the first portion in the series that's going to pull you forward. So we want to say motivation is the spark, the thing that gets you started. Nehemiah, let us know about adversity.
My definition of adversity would be any type of obstacle or anything that's in your way or that's preventing you from getting to an end goal. All right, really, that's it.
All right, so guys, what type of adversity are we facing today in this world? Like,
I mean,
what type of issue?
turn on TV.
TV,
what kind of adversity you want? You know what I mean? You got it. I mean, you got protests, you got pandemic, you got entire continents on fire.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you got police brutality, you got people in your own homes. Like, I'm tired of being at home. And it's like I'm facing the mental adversity from being at home and changing, losing control. Man, y'all come up with something. We don't want to start it off the present.
I mean, it's a relationship adversity where you having to really deal with a lot of things you haven't dealt with before, especially by being forced to be in the same space with somebody that you don't really know or don't really like or don't really love the way you used to when you first started out with them, where, it's your spouse or your significant other, then going like your kids, right? A lot of people haven't really met their kids before, right? They exist, but they don't really know who their kids are, so they're having to deal with what the product of what they have put out there, put it like that. So the way you raise your kids, you seeing what their teachers have been going through for months and years now. It's like, so my son and daughter really do that? Yeah, they do. And you did it to them, right? But I mean, it's so many different types of adversity, man. So.
All right, so that leads us to six type of adversities we're going to talk to you about today. We're going to let Nehemiah hit you with the first two, physical and mental. Then we're going to let Josh hit you with the next three, emotional, social, and spiritual. Well, man, might as well wrap it up financial. We're going to all chime in.
We just going to hit it, man. Let's just roll with it.
All right, first one, physical.
All right,
let's get it.
Physically, like lifting weights or anything like that, man. Physically, a lot of people can. I get a lot of new people, right, or beginner people when it comes down to clientele. So people that have not experienced something or weightlifting or trying to overcome an injury or anything like that. So it's a lot of stuff that can go on with that. A lot of people get discouraged because they are not where they thought they were. You have people that have been working out for years and years and years, and they don't know how to squat properly, or their hamstrings or their arms or their shoulders are not, they don't have the right range of motion. So it's a lot of different things that you can face when it comes down to physical adversity.
And I was about to say this to kind of add on to that. How can someone overcome physical adversity if they lost their leg in a car accident?
Well, that's a deep
or
one.
You know what I'm saying, like, because that right there would definitely have you turn to like, hey, I used to walk regular, now I'm not walking.
Yeah, phantom
like
limbs.
You know what I'm saying?
Stuff like that.
One thing I think I heard this probably a few days ago, but it resonated with me. It was talking about like really accepting what is and not living in the past or not thinking about too much of what we're talking about, what the future may hold or anything like that. Because if you try to live in the past or the future, you're going to really mess yourself up. So you have to really take life for what it is right now and adapt, right? Do the best you can with what you have
Right.
and not what you wish you had.
That's
right.
heavy.
You really have to, because that's where a lot of us mess up. That's what causes a lot of pain, because we dwell on the things that's not there. Right. It causes what we call fear, or it causes anxiety, because it's these unrealistic thoughts, or these illogical thoughts and thought patterns that it doesn't even make sense, because you're not dealing with that. You're dealing with what you have right now. You're not dealing with what could be, or what you wish it's right now.
All right, that leads to our second type of adversity, and it's mental. Ooh, what's our time?
Come on.
Look.
Yeah. Come on with it, Lloyd. I want to hear what you got first. You're a man with a lot of wisdom.
Man, the mental. When you think things ain't gonna get better, man, you just want to throw in that towel so quick.
Come on.
But of course you can't. But during that time, it's really tough to kind of handle that time. But of course, you got to pray, fast and stuff, and go through all that. But it's like you can do that, but are you really trusting in that? Are you really believing in what what I'm saying, to actually to help you get over it and get through it? So I'm like, it's like you have to believe it for yourself in a sense.
First, believe you can.
Yeah, you know that. So it's like if your mental keep telling you things won't get better, guess what? Things ain't gonna get better.
That's it.
Man, I don't have no job, man. It ain't gonna work, man. Nobody want to hire me. Nobody want to do this. Nobody want to do this, that, and third. You like, all right, now what a positive's gonna come at? You know what I'm saying? And every so now and then, some just for example, you unemployed or something like that. Yeah. You may have somebody be like, out of nowhere, hey man, I need you to help me come do something. Get like $20 for it. There it is. Hey, that's better than what you had.
Agreed.
Watching that conversation that you're having within, basically that mental conversation, like Les Brown and stuff talked about. Like you really have to watch how you talk to yourself, and what you let, let's say the past or anything that you have done, limit you from what really could be. So it's that inner conversation. It's like like confidence coaching, right? So it's the things. It's basically what I just said. It's really just that word association, right? How you let's say place a definition on something, or place your perspective on something. That's what it's going to be. So you really have to watch how you use negative words or positive words. So be descriptive, but describe things in an optimistic way, so that you won't have this so your body doesn't react to it, right? Because whatever you say, your body is, if you feel like you can't pick up this laptop, right, mentally, if you tell yourself you can't, your arm will actually weaken, so you can't pick this up.
I can't do it.
Can't do it. Right. I mean, it's
I'm telling you, I can't.
But you can't. So it's like the anxiety, man. Like whatever you feel, you might be feeling like you're about to pass out, and you're breathing hard and all this other stuff. It's like people have thought themselves into like this psychotic break. It's because of the negative conversations that you're having with yourself. The way you describe a situation is what is going to be. So that mental battleground. Everything that we have on this list, mental, right? There's a mental aspect to this, man. But just being a little bit more descriptive. So the next one is emotional, right?
Right, emotional. Josh, go on, hit us with it, bro.
You want me to do emotion?
Go on, hit us with it, bro.
All right, man. I mean, emotional adversity. We'll just say, it's tied to a lot of what he was saying. Physical, losing a limb. Then the mental aspect of, anything on this list can trigger an emotion. And the thing about memory is, everybody operates off their operating system, which is based upon your memory. You see something, you do something. It's go through that. I'm going to show my age here a little bit. That Rolodex. We're going to go through those files, and we're going to try to find something that identifies with this. So pain is a great starting point. That's why they have things like pain points. You do something, and that emotion is going to sear to it. That's why they call love insanity, because it's tied to that emotion where you're basically going against your instinct. So emotionally, you can be adverse in a relationship, whether that be an intimate relationship, that could be a friendship kind of relationship, that could be with not only a spouse, but it could be a cousin, it could be a friend, it could be a relationship with your job, a relationship with yourself. Where he was saying, you think about what you're thinking about, and the things that you're thinking about are going to create those, or manifestation. You're going to enter that realm where you're going to start to manifest these things. Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Right,
so if I say I'm not going to get the job, I'm not going to get the job, I'm not going to get the job, I'm not going to get the relationship, I'm not going to get the business, I'm not going to do this. Only thing you're doing if you speak or you believe in something, what they say, the universal power of the
As
ether.
soul man thinketh.
Thank you. Come on.
That we
Napoleon
go
Hill says you speak into the ether. Think and grow rich.
But
Great.
so
Great.
let me ask you a question. Like with that emotion, so all right, once again, I'm just using an example.
Yeah.
As far as the job, say you've been praying for this job, you've been working hard, you studied for this job, prepared really nice, and you did really good on this job interview, and they say no.
You just said a great thing though. You said you prepared.
Mm-hmm.
And you mentioned God, you prayed.
Right.
So not now doesn't mean no, right?
Right.
Not now doesn't mean no. We'll use this age-old adage. There were two farmers and there was a drought. They both prayed for rain. But one went outside and started to tend the fields and dropped the seeds.
Come on.
The other one just kept looking outside and looking up.
There we go.
So in this particular situation,
Yes,
who do you think is gonna get blessed with the rain?
Yes, sir.
The person that sat on his hands or the one that went out and got busy?
There we go.
Hey,
Somebody had one gift, somebody had 5. Somebody came back and one was buried, the other one had 10. You tell me who you want to bless.
Redirection. That's what we call it. Everything don't mean it just doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. It's just that wasn't the spot that God wanted you in.
Come on.
Right? It's a test of faith. It's everything that comes against you. It doesn't mean that it's going to destroy you. It's basically there to help mold you. You have to look at stuff with that, like it's like going into the weight room, right? Anything that you come up against, you have to cause some type of pressure, some type of resistance, so that you can build the muscle. Right, anything that comes, if you start off with fire, it's called progressive overload. Right, every time you reach a new level, then you add more weights to it. Right, so every time you reach something new, it's gonna get heavier and heavier. But all of that is to say that you need to be able to handle something. You need to have something. You need to be made and molded into something.
Let me ask you this.
Come on,
based upon what he was saying.
Come on,
and I need you to chime in on this, Coach. I need you to chime in on this.
What you got?
Okay, so you tell me. It's about to be springtime, or they say spring. It feel like summer here in Georgia. If you're not watching this from Georgia, but the trees bud, the plants they open. Mm-hmm. That's life, right? Mm-hmm. But then it drops seeds, which is seen as death, right? Mm-hmm. You didn't get the job. You prepared.
Come on.
You put forth your best self.
Come on.
And then the seed fell. But what's in the seed? It's presumed death, right? That's
right.
it.
Right.
But that's also reproduction, because the life is in the seed. Mm-hmm. So you dropped, the wind blew. And then it got you to this beautiful orchard. And then you grow where you planted. And now you have this huge tree that you were meant to be. But you got caught up because you gave your best self at that version. But that version had to die. Had to be buried.
Right.
Come on, you following me? Had to be watered. And then it had to erect itself. So I want to say this by saying, physically, it ain't working. Mentally, you weren't there. But when you got that emotional death and you got over not getting that job, then he sent the rain. Come on, give me the next one, man. Come on now. Come on, baby.
All right, so that leads to our fourth one, social adversity.
Man. Yeah, which talk to me. I want you
just gonna say
leave me out. Leave me out.
Really like this. Some people don't know how to interact or talk to people.
Like you saying introverts or just people in general?
Just like people in general.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because even like one good way as far as like social is, I don't know if y'all, it was a meme or something that was saying like it's how you communicate it.
Yes.
Like I could say, hey Nehemiah, go open that door for me, bro. Or I could be like, Nehemiah, open that door, man.
Right on it now.
Hey, open it right now, man. What's up? You know, like that. Get booked, but it's just like
we
how
gotta
it
find
comes out.
Who Nehemiah is. Is he docile or is he an apex predator?
Right. So and it's not only that, it's definitely communication, but also how you interact. People have difficult ways in trying to talk to different people. Sometimes people are different race.
Yes.
As well.
Cultural
Have any of y'all experienced that as far as I know.
Talk to me.
For Nehemiah, not Nehemiah, but for Josh, I know you said people often say you sound white.
Yeah, and it was kind of one of them experiences where it was like it was a young lady, and she said that I was speaking as though I was not one of us, and I was like, so what does that mean? She was like, you don't talk like us, and in my mind, I was having trouble correlating because I'm like, who is us, and why do us not talk like this?
Right. That's that.
But it was one of those situations where you you assimilate this type of language to this group of people, and like you were saying, breaking down those barriers or those cultural differences. Whereas I feel like I can talk to you a certain way, and I may not feel, whether it's my social conditioning or not, I can't speak to another group of people the same way. But yeah, that was an awkward situation. I was in high school, and I was like, man, and you know how it is, trying to find myself.
Right.
Another way to help out with like social adversity is really how we identify with ourselves. A lot of times we try to place how we feel about ourselves and let that be the perception that the way someone else views us. Right. So we really have to get over thinking down on ourselves, anything like that we're not worthy of people to like us. And we first have to really love ourselves, right? So that other people, so that we can, when someone doesn't accept us, then, you know what I'm saying, we'll be fine and we'll be okay because we are secure in who we are and different things like that. Everybody is not for us, right? We're not going to connect every way. We should still be cordial and be nice to people and love people, but it's just, we have to learn the acceptance that everybody's not going to have something in common with us that we can bond over, right? But we have to be sure in ourselves and who we are, and that we make sure we love ourselves, right? So don't put your doubts in other people's eyes, all right, and put it like that. Don't let that perception of how you feel be the way someone else, what you think someone else perceives you. Some people look at me and they be like, bro, you huge, right? And I'll be like, am I that big, really? To me, I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you work out.
But like, you looking at it like, not saying, it's just like, just the way we feel about ourselves, man. Just don't put that on other people and put it like that. Don't let the self-hatred or anything like that. You have to get over your self-hate, right? And start to love yourself in order to interact with people a whole lot better, right? A whole lot smoother.
Don't pull your stuff on me.
And another thing also with social adversity, a tip that you can kind of give people is like attend like social events, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Or just saying good morning to somebody at work, or starting in the household, or just a random person
where you are.
Random person outside or something, like just say hey, to just kind of see if you can spark up a conversation. But I think that's
I do want to add
the ways that we get.
Just another tip, depending on where you are, because see, we're in the South. People are friendly in the South. You do that in Detroit or Chicago, based upon my experience with other people, you may get a very different reaction. So I'll say plan accordingly.
Right.
But yeah, what's our next one?
All right, so the fifth one is spiritual adversity.
My brother.
When your faith is slipping, what do you do?
What'd you say? You said slipping, that what you said?
Yes.
Brother said slipping. Come on, somebody talk to me.
God... Well,
when your faith is slipping, bro, and you have doubts.
No. I mean, I'm saying
spiritual adversity.
Ephesians 6 and 10, right? When it's talking about putting on the whole armor of God. All right, that's gonna be one thing that God really takes me back to when it comes down to having faith. But you have to understand and know what He's promised to you. All right, so you have to really live in His promises. So when you feel like nothing's going your way, anything like that, you have to remember what God has promised. Right, He's always going to take care of us. He's always going to give us everything that we need. And He give us some of the things that we want, and He'll give us our heart's desire. But you have to live in what He wants for you. So you have to remember that as long as you live for Him, you'll be just fine. So, spiritual adversity, just look towards His promises and things that He said that He will do. God is not a man that He shall lie. Right? So you have to remind yourself of those things. You have to make sure you studying and reading your word. Make sure you feel it. Make sure you getting, you know what I'm saying, like somebody else, you being around people that's helping you out. Like when it comes with like the evil communication, make sure the people that you're around is not people that's going to down you and bring you down. It's people that's going to help uplift you and feed you with spiritual things that's going to help you out.
So
come on.
So how do you combat self-doubt?
He gonna be your motivation.
That, you know what? It's self-doubt.
Self-esteem,
self-doubt,
self-hate. Somebody that's self that keep getting in the way.
That's a good question.
How do you overcome self-doubt? How did you acquire self-doubt?
Through my past, really. A lot of self-doubt came from other people telling me I couldn't do anything, or people doubting me, and it's other people's programming.
They poured into your container.
Man, it starts from a child. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of stuff that that's formed, or the self-doubt that's formed in us, it starts from a child because
they filled your bag up with negativity.
Look, like
what you gonna do with your bag?
Look, I've learned how to pour things out and fill it with other things.
He said pour. He said pick.
Look,
he said drip. He said I'm gonna pour it out.
I mean, it starts from there. It's like look at children, right? Anybody ever realize that it's hard to tell a little baby like they can't do something, right? They feel like they can just do anything. You ever how many people stop a child from walking? It's just instinctively they know and feel like they can walk.
That's it.
And when their body catches up to like the strength level and the coordination, and their brain catches up to it, they start automatically doing.
Wait on it. You gotta break it down for them. I need them to understand how intricate what you just said is.
I mean, it's just like instinct.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Cut you up. So you said the kids feel like they can do about anything. So do that mean, do they fall in the context of, are their faith slipping, or are they having confidence and believing enough that they can do it?
I mean, they believe that they can do it. That's something like every time you see them fall, they get right back up. Right? They don't. You ever seen a little baby just fall down and then not get back up and try and walk?
Just quit.
How many of them do you see that? It's instinctive, right? So what you do is you have to get out of the negative things that other people have told you that you can't do. Not letting the failures or the things that didn't succeed or go what we call right, or the things that we wanted and we didn't get. We don't let that be a reflection of our self-worth, right? We don't let that be a reflection of like us living in our purpose and different things like that. Whatever's going to be is going to be for us, right? But we have to live in what He wants and not what we want. Right. A lot of times, when I've tried to do things on my own, right, it failed a lot, right? But as I began to live in what God wants, it's like everything just it comes back to back. He allows stuff to happen, and I didn't live in I didn't live in those failures. I live in what God wants me, and that built me up to say, dang, you know what, I really am worthy of this because He putting all of this into me, then I'm worthy of this. So that's just a little something.
I just wanted to add,
go ahead.
When you with the spiritual, like he was saying, God's gonna be your motivation.
Mm-hmm.
You are what you eat. You've got somebody that's physically fit. Those that look at me, no, I don't work out as much as he does. But you are what you eat. So whatever you consume is based upon what I'm hearing is that's what you're gonna feed off of. Mm-hmm. So in the event you find yourself with your face slipping,
right,
change what you eat.
Yeah.
Change what you intake.
Right.
Change who you hang around. Yeah. Change that circle. So that's going to be that motivation. He's going to be your motivation to get through that, to build that faith again. And one thing I want people to stop doing, please stop doing this. Stop expecting great things with no work ethic. How do you think you're going to get stronger if he just said it's going to break your muscles down? How did a baby expect to walk without getting bumps and bruises from falling down? So please stop expecting to be on the top shelf and you ain't done nothing to get up there.
Hey, Josh, as the saying goes, faith without works is
dead.
Graveyard dead.
All right, so that leads to our last and final step. The sixth step is financial adversity. Not having enough money to afford your lifestyle.
Do we even need to talk about this? Like,
no.
I mean, do we? I think for the most part, like, we need to talk about it. I ain't gonna say we don't need to, but I'm like,
oh boy.
Well, you done been broke.
Guilty.
We done been broke.
Guilty.
If I ain't got the cash for it, I'm gonna get the credit. And then when I get the credit, I'm gonna get some more credit. And then I'm gonna make a minimal payment. You talk about financially adverse. And I think what it comes from more than anything is my people perish for a lack of knowledge. There's no financial literacy. This isn't something that they teach in all schools. They're trying to implement it now.
Right.
But everything that seems to be financially literate is a get-rich-quick scheme, or you do it first.
Right.
You do it first and then come show me.
Right.
Nobody's willing to take the chance. I'd rather say, I know Coach Lord. I know Nehemiah. Because you financially sound, instead of asking you how you got financially sound. So,
that's true.
Financial adversity can crush a marriage, can crush a relationship, can end a friendship.
Watch it.
So what you want to do is you want to put yourself in the best position. And the thing about it is, people, we got to be humble.
Yeah.
You want to know what leverage is?
Yeah.
I have something which most times is knowledge that you don't have, but you don't want to pay for it because it's a scam if you pay for it. But if your toilet break and you don't know how to fix it, who do you call? The person with the knowledge.
Right.
Your lights ain't working and you paid the bill. Who you gonna call? An electrician. Your life jacked up and so is your soul. Who you gonna call? I promise you it ain't Ghostbusters. You gonna call the preacher. So when your finances are messed up, they got credit restoration. They got people that are teaching stocks. They got people that are doing real estate. Stop buying the J's. Yeah, I said it. Stop living in that dilapidated house with your brand new 2020 Camaro outside and take that money and invest it in your mind. Your greatest asset.
J. Cole, you stepping on some toes.
Your greatest. I want to crunch them toes. Hope they popping. Come back and see my next episode. See who else toes I'm stepping on. This is why we here. Financial adversity is real. You can lose your marriage. You can lose your home. But don't lose yourself. People do anything for $1. When you understand money is a tool, it's something used to obtain something of value, your mind, the knowledge that you have, the asset, which people stop saying things are assets that aren't assets. This ain't no promo, they ain't said this. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Basic knowledge of an asset versus a liability. Stop buying these expensive cars thinking it's not a liability. Stop buying these big old houses that you had to get extended credit on. They gave you $300,000 to get the house. Don't get a $300,000 house. This ain't a financial podcast.
Right.
But that's financial adversity. You're putting yourself in an adverse situation.
Right. That's true, man.
Set your children up. Think about legacy. We got to do better, y'all. This ain't me. He said I'm stepping on toes. Yes. Because what do we say pain will do? Pain is going to trigger an emotion, right? It's going to sear it into your brain and you're going to remember.
Right.
Don't unsubscribe. Keep coming. You're going to get better. Jesus kept telling people where they were. Put the mirror in front of them. We need truth. And we're not just going to give you what the problem is. We're going to give you solutions. That's why we here. Y'all got anything else?
Don't let you not having the money, right, stop you from going after what you feel like you could be doing.
Please.
Because there's a lot of times, or there's people out there that will help you out where they will donate to you, right? Or they have the resource and they say, hey, look, I'm gonna let you use this resource so that we can get you started. And then, they don't worry about paying me right now. You can pay me for it later or something like that, right? It's so many different things where God will align you with people that you need and resources that you need to help you get to where you need to go to, right? So let's
100%.
say when you get to a certain point in your career or your business and different things like that, then you'll be able to afford more things. But as you go along, start off small, right? We came together and we bought some things, different things like that with whatever streams of income that we had, and God made it happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, let your gift make room for you. The better you are, the more you study in your craft and different things like that. You have faith that you believe in what God has called you to do. So you have to believe that He will add to you as you need, right? Not as you want all the time, but as you need, right? So you have to believe in the process, though. You can't just give up on the process because you don't have what you think that you should have, right? And then you can create other streams of income, right? It might not have anything to do with your gift, but if you have a skill somewhere else and you can monetize
Say it again.
then
Say it again now. Say it again.
But if you have a skill that you can monetize, then you can add that to the streams of income so that you can fund the business that you have. Like, I have different streams of income right now, but they all fund this one thing, right? It's different things that I do. I do life coaching, relationship coaching, wellness coaching, personal training. I even do insurance, right? So it's different things that I have all to fund BSS Grind, right? All to fund the purpose that God has for me. It's the wheels to the car, basically. I'm putting it like that. So you have to focus on different. Don't just sit there and be stagnant and only focus on one thing. See what God will allow you to do that will create other streams of income for you. But you have to get outside the box. You can't say that's not for me. Have you tried it?
Come on.
Right? But
longer than 6 months.
I mean, you can't just like
3 weeks.
I ain't trying to be no janitor though, man.
I mean, can you do a part-time? Is that going to help you out to put that money and put it inside the business though?
You said
like,
janitor.
It don't.
You a sanitation engineer, man. Come on.
Yeah. I mean,
it's the conversation. That's, I mean, I understand. You know, that ain't me. But you don't know who you are. You was a very fluid concept.
Right.
I mean, the very fluid concept. Because, I mean, that ain't you today, but who you going to be tomorrow? We acting for where we want to be. Right. And notice that he said, I want to make this very clear. Stream. He didn't say drip. He didn't say droplet. He didn't say sprinkle. He said stream, steady. Keep it going.
Right.
You got anything to add to that, Coach?
I think y'all wrap that up.
Okay.
Y'all wrap that up.
We got some action steps coming up, though, right?
Right. So, how do we stay motivated through adversity? What do we have to have first to start off?
One thing you said, correct attitude. Gotta be. That's gotta be to start everything. Everything else is for now.
And guess what, Josh?
What's that?
Who get to choose what type of attitude they gonna have?
you do.
Of course. You the man. Come on.
Exactly.
You the woman. You the child. You the dog. Cat. Whatever you are. You. That's where it started.
All right, so most definitely you choose what type of attitude you want to. Just
Absolutely.
like how you wake up in the morning, how you react to certain things. You choose.
Make it a great day. Come on, somebody.
Hey, watch
I know
it
y'all
out.
heard the slogan. I know you heard the catchphrase. Make it a great day. Because mindset matters, man. You get to decide.
Right.
Yeah, you may be crying, but you get to decide to make it a great day.
I'm trying to tell you. So this leads up to our 8 steps to staying motivated, right? The first step is start simple.
Yes.
And when we mean start simple is think about things that make you spark or your why.
Right.
And
Start where you are.
Do y'all want to share some of y'all whys?
Man, I got a huge why. Like, it's just one of them. If we talking about why, I just feel like it's a whole podcast. Just starring me. Me and my brothers. I mean the why, the why that we're even here. Like your why, his why, my why, all mesh into what we're doing right now.
Correct.
But like my why came from where I came from. You heard the story on the introduction. If you haven't, go back and watch that first. Come back, finish this episode.
Subscribe. You know.
Oh yeah, like, click, subscribe, share it with somebody that you know may be going through this so they can benefit off this podcast.
Exactly.
But I say for me, my why started before I got married. I came up in a very tough situation, lack mindset, and I wanted better. So that being a better version of myself, wanting to have more for my family, for my legacy, for my community, was something that was a driving force to better myself, to educate myself, to reach for more, to want to become more, to become that person, and understanding that it was going to be adverse, that I was going to have situations where I didn't, what I was told was I wasn't the right paint job for what I was trying to do, or whatever these situations, a lot of negativity and things like that. But my why pulled me through all of those situations.
Right.
Now I have a beautiful wife, I have 2 beautiful children, and I have brothers and those that want to work with me, those like Nehemiah was saying that want to back you. They see the gift, they see the opportunity, they see your zeal, and they want to sow into that. So that why is what's driving me. That's what's pushing me. So no, I don't feel like it every day. Y'all feel like it every day?
No.
Say
No.
it's not about my flesh and how I'm feeling it though. I've been sick, I've been tired, I've been broke, I done cried. There's been situations where I came up against and feel like I'm banging my head against the wall. Like I've done everything. I done cried out, I done prayed, I done fasted, and it's just kind of like my why was the thing that, okay, this is what is going to, perfect story as far as for with my why. That's going to pull me because I have to do this for my legacy. I have to do this for my community. And understand how I choose my words very specifically, not pacifically, specifically. I have to, because you get the things you have to have, not always the things that you want. But the story is there was a gentleman
That's true.
that got sent out. God told him to push on a rock, big boulder, and he goes out there day after day, first day, second day, 10th day, 30th day, 90th day, and he's pushing and he's pushing and he's pushing. And finally he's like, God, I can't move the rock. And what happens in that moment is the realization, or the language, or the culmination, or the dying to what I thought I was. I was leaning to my own understanding.
Come on.
But purpose came through. He says, look at your muscles. Look at your hands. Look at your legs.
The
Your
power in
back.
the hands. Go ahead.
Come on. But what he's saying is, that's an insider. But we'll get to that. But what he was saying was, look at how I've strengthened you. Look at how I've built you. The objective was never to move the rock. get the job. Since that was that particular case,
Right.
The why was to build you up, and that's gonna be the thing that's gonna strengthen you for. Okay, now go do what I told you to do. So the upbringing, the adverse situations, the whether it be academic, whether it be physical, whether it be mental, whether it be emotional, the thing that broke you or that was meant to break you, that was kind of my why. The things that the things I've gone through, the things I stand on, the things I use now as rocket fuel to propel me towards that purpose. So I was like, in that regard, like you saying, start simple. I was broken and broke, broke, whatever you want to call it. We were at the bottom. We didn't have much, but I started where I was at, and he's carried me or has pushed me.
Right.
And each step of the way, a little bit more was added. As he was saying, as I reached the plateau, okay, now we add more weight. Just like with anything that you're doing, you're gonna grow. Just like, the small tree ain't got as many branches as the big tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that was just, that's my why. That's why I'm so all the time.
Right. Yeah, Mike, you good at that?
No, I'm good.
All right, so our second step is keep good company. Why is it important to keep?
Y'all good?
look.
Y'all good, y'all? I don't know about y'all, man. Y'all nefarious characters.
I mean, whoever and whatever you keep around you, man, whatever you feed yourself, that's what you're gonna be. It's like he said, and I said earlier. It's about whatever you put into your body. That is what is going to reflect. People don't understand that you can be vexed by certain things that people say, or you can just be brought down, or have like this. People say your vibe is off. Yeah, your vibe is off because it's not nurturing to the situation or me as a person. So if it doesn't build you up, then
drink some water
it is. Look, there's like there can be weights in your life. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's stuff that can just it's not.
Ones that start with a W. Them kind of weights.
I mean, it's stuff that just holds you back and it holds you down, man. So you really have to just keep the right people in your life, right? That's really what it is.
Come on,
that's why it's important, because the things that they can cause you to fail, right? If people are let's say, I'm not saying that people are beneath people, but there's people that lack motivation. All right, let me put it that way. All right, so if you hang around people that lack motivation, how can they feed you or give you anything? A friendship is usually a give and take. Right? There's a reason Lloyd is my friend and Josh is my friend and whoever else. There's a reason, right? We need something from each other, right? So if they not feeding or giving to you, it's like, all right, I'm your friend. Like, but it's a take thing. They're just drawing from you. They're not putting any. You don't want those types.
So it ain't like T.I. Homie, get on your job is motivation.
Like, man, yeah. Motivation. Yeah, I mean, they have to be giving something to you, man. Like, they just can't take from you. So any type of negativity, if it's not going down the path that you're going down, it can be a bad situation. But even if they're not bad people or they're not unmotivated, they just don't fit what you are or what your purpose is.
Give my name. I hear the description. I said parasite because it's only take, and like anything, it needs a host. And once that runs dry, it goes on to the next.
Right.
So we had a little power outage real quick, man. I don't know what's going on.
Right.
But, you know what I'm saying, we're going to keep this podcast going, man. Hold on.
Exactly. Don't. Just hold that thought. We're going to pause.
We're going to pause for a minute and see. We got a look.
What's going on?
Now, hold on. See, there we go. Look at it's back. But
won't he do it?
Hey, man, I don't know. I'm going to turn on that light. We're going to hit that light real quick, man. Hold on for a second. Just a quick interruption.
And the show is on.
Yes, sir.
And we back.
All right. Yeah, I might hear a few things turning on, stuff like that. Don't worry about that, though. But we're going to move on.
But also with keeping good company, you have keeping good company, you have people who help you grow and through hard times, you know what I'm saying? They'll motivate you kind of through hard times. But think about this, I had thought about this, right? You know, with all the pandemic and going around and stuff like that, if you don't have, just say for example, if your friend not really spiritual and not really believing in God and stuff like that, when that pandemic came on, they probably gonna panic.
Oh yeah.
And you'll be like, hold on, you panicking, chill, like you gonna pray, let it run. But no, they be like, no man, I gotta get this, I gotta get that, I gotta get that. So you know, even with not saying that of course you're gonna be friends with them and stuff like that, but you either have to coach them and help them get through that, certainly. As opposed to me and them, I'm like, and Josh, like, hey man, just keep faith, man. We gonna keep praying. We're gonna get through this together, man. Yeah. Instead of us both acting crazy and wild and not over it.
So let me ask you this, just before we move on. If I pour coffee in a cup, what can I pour from the cup? If I pour coffee in a cup, what can I pour from the cup?
Coffee.
Right. So if you have spirituality and they ain't got nothing, that's why they panicking. I ain't got nothing.
Why you killed that one? That was a good one.
Come on, man. On to the next one. We got 8 steps.
All right,
8 steps.
All right, the third step is keep learning. Read and taking everything you can, learn more, and become confident.
You got hype.
Continue education.
Forever learning.
I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like, don't let people outwork you, right? It's going to be a whole lot. Don't let other people, I'm not saying be competitive, but you really just don't want your information or you to become irrelevant, right? Let's say, in school, they say that technology changes every 2 years. So that means that every 2 years or so, or every year and a half, you need to be adding to yourself. You need to be learning something new. It's just like they say that every 5 years, so your certification on whatever you have, it becomes obsolete. The information has changed so much. Technology a little bit different, but we talking about just continue. Even with
medical,
let's say
medical. Careers and stuff like that.
There we go.
Get recertified.
There we go. Every couple of years or so. Yeah. So I mean, you really have to just continue to upgrade yourself. Look at it like this: if you don't change or upgrade your information, then you stay the same. All right. And then if you stay in the same, a lot of people, or let's say entrepreneurs, right? We don't like to stay broke. Right, we don't want to stay at that same level unless you've reached millionaire, billionaire status. Then a lot of times you do want to grow, right? So in order for you to grow, you have to put more information in you so that you can move differently or act differently. You can only do what you know.
What would y'all say would be a good time to keep learning? You think during this time right now?
This is perfect time.
This is in the house anyway, right?
You ain't acquire a new skill. Hey, prime example, the mask. People look at YouTube and start
making masks and stuff.
Making them out of socks.
Selling them.
You gotta have an entrepreneur mindset though. A lot of people, if you can't wake up every day and somebody tell you what to do, you don't know what to do. Right. And it's not a bad thing because everybody's not an entrepreneur.
Right.
But everybody has purpose and everybody can be creative. And I'm sure your purpose is greater than, I'll say, what you're doing if you're not enjoying everything you do. If you have a job and you love your job, just like I was an advocate for going to school because that's what was embedded in me. Go. And I mean, yes, but the way the system is made now is so archaic that unless you're going to be something like a doctor or a lawyer or something that's going to...
What does archaic mean? Archaic
is kind of like it's outdated. It's one of those...
Obsolete.
Barbarians around that time,
He's
you
smart.
See how those do?
He's smart.
It's basically outdated.
There we go.
And what we want to do is you can learn a skill that can pay you today from your cell phone. Even if you don't have internet, they have places that have free Wi-Fi.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you don't have a car, so now we're starting to get real creative.
Yes, sir.
Do you want to read books? Do you have somebody that has Wi-Fi access? Are you willing to walk if it's close by? How are you staying connected? How are you watching this podcast?
Right.
So I'm saying in this same opportunity, just like your iPhone and iOS updates, whether you like it or not, is constantly being updated. You need to constantly be updating the information you're exposed to. Like you say, money loves speed. So I'll just say, do it with integrity, but this was a perfect opportunity. Whereas you wanted the world to stop, you needed time. You have time, build relationships, invest in your mind, invest in some form of skill.
Right.
Because if everybody says they want the zombie apocalypse, right? But if they can't go to Walmart or whatever grocery store is big in their town during the zombie apocalypse, some people ain't gonna make it. I'm just gonna be honest with you, because they don't know anything.
Right.
And I don't say that to bash anyone. It's simply a situation about you are what you eat. So whatever you consume, what do you do in the morning? How do you plan your day? What are you learning? And as individuals, and they say as people, as homo sapien.
There we go.
There we go. You're supposed to be able to run or move 40 miles a day. How many people you ever did 40 miles in a day?
40 miles.
You did 40. I ain't talking about in the I ain't talking about in the Hummer.
No,
I'm talking about
that's a
we
lot.
were originally not Baller's Life. No, I'm saying like hunter, gatherer. You know, you have these skills to survive. So I would just say in this same situation, your job is not designed to make you rich. I don't care what they tell you. Even if they pay you millions, you work on Wall Street, whatever. Most jobs are not designed to make you rich. They're not they're not designed to make you free.
Right.
So that's when, if you give somebody 8 hours a day, give yourself equally 8 to 10 hours. You can get off Netflix and chill.
Right.
I said it. Drop a comment.
During the pandemic?
During the pandemic. You know they got $15 courses. You just spent $15 at McDonald's or Wendy's or Taco Bell.
Whole new skill.
You know what I'm saying? $15. You can, and then you can take that and monetize it. You can build. Invest in your children if you have children.
Right.
Your cousin. The little joker down the street that ain't got no guidance. Invest in him or her.
And one thing I often say too, like, I don't know about you all, but growing up, I really didn't hear too many teachers say, hey, you can be a writer and write a whole bunch of books. But if you check some people's net worth off books, especially Stephen King,
Serious.
This dude serious money.
So to all my writers out there, since y'all keep making these burner Facebook pages where y'all put people business out, start a blog. Start a blog. Do something with it. You already got the skill. Do it. Private investigator. You want to be in people's business anyway. Anyway, next.
All right, next up. This is our fourth step, is seeing the good and the bad. So with that, you find the ways to get over it. So how can we find ways to get over something that don't seem good at all, but overcome it?
All things work together for the good of them that love God and are called to His purpose. I mean, that's what I do.
To my believers.
And look, in my practice, right, to my clients, man, I tell you, look, my stuff is faith based, right? If you don't, if you're not acting in body, soul, and spirit, you gonna be lacking somewhere in your life, man. If you got some emotional things down, some spiritual things down, you lacking in your body, you're not gonna be able to enjoy any of the things that you have built in other ways, right? So either way it go, man, my stuff is faith based. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I look towards. That's my platform. That's a part of my platform.
So what? As far as the people who may not be faith-based, what are ways for them to see the good out of the bad, you know?
I would just say optimism is going to be your sharpest tool in the tool shed at that point in time.
Fact.
The same way when you're in your darkest moment, if somebody can find a light switch. Right. If you need to do an exercise, here's an exercise. Go in your nearest closet that isn't cluttered. Close the door with the lights off. Take yourself a flashlight or your cell phone. Cut it on. That's going to be your beacon of hope in your darkest moment. Find something. Find the spark. Find the motivation. Find the company. Find the tool, the utensil, the device, something that's not going to destroy your body. And allow that to be the silver lining. Even if it's going to be where I'm at the end of this. Learn the lesson. Because anything you're going through has to be teaching you or building you in some way. Even if it's tearing you down, it's an opportunity to be rebuilt. That's when all of these things that we talked about are going to come into place. But you have to be optimistic.
So how do we find the good and the bad during this pandemic and during, the protesting and
certainly? Well, I mean, I'd say, that's a heavy.
That's a whole topic.
I would say in this particular situation, you have with the pandemic that put a lot of people in, right? Mm-hmm. Or it brought a lot of people in. So now you get to eat with your family. You get to spend time with your children. Right. You get to spend time with your spouse. Or even if you're by yourself, you can do that reading that you want. You can learn that skill. You can improve your body. Mm-hmm. So you just have to find a way to turn any situation into one that's going to benefit you in this particular situation.
Even with the flip side of that, what you think about, because I know people have mentioned that also, but on different social media, I seen that people was like, well, it's not good at home for some other people.
It is.
Certainly. So how could we, what type of advice could we give them that, may not have a good structured type home or however? Like what could they?
I would say your greatest weapon is faith in my experience. But I would say in this is an opportunity, since this isn't the situation, if you've been neglecting it, find your way out. And that can be simple, but at the same time, this is find your motivation if you can't go home or it's not good at home, speak to someone. They have
There we go.
different hotlines. They have different people that are here to help you. They have
resources.
Resources.
Right, there we go.
use this opportunity to find those resources.
Reach out.
To change that situation,
There we
because you
go.
deserve better. Your children deserve better. You don't have to be in that situation.
Right.
All right, so that leads to our fifth step, and that's stop thinking. Like I mentioned before, sometimes when you overly think, it mess up your thought process, and that's when you just need to do like Nike.
Just do
it, baby.
Right.
Just
Do it, just like Nike, because like they said, out of mind is the devil's workshop.
That's it, man.
How they said. But if you keep overthinking, you're gonna get stuck. Like,
Right.
That's it.
you're not
Analysis
gonna finish the
paralysis.
task, man.
That's
You're
it.
not gonna finish
Just
the task.
set a goal, execute.
That's it. Even if you fail, still execute. Do something. Learn from it.
Right. All right. So the sixth step is know yourself. Whew. What
whole
moves
podcast
work for
Right. Don't know yourself.
you? Look, what moves work? What move works for you best, and what move don't work for you so well?
Like you said, you in the house. Find out who you are. Find out where you come from. I ain't gonna go too deep because I get passionate about this. But this is the opportunity for you to find out who you are on every level. And it's a journey. And understand, this doesn't happen overnight. This doesn't happen this year. I'm still learning. As I'm sure my brothers still with me, still learning. But you owe it to yourself before anybody else to find out who you are, where you come from. It'll change the trajectory of your life. You will love you different.
Learning what prevents you, or what actions or habits will keep you from doing something, right? So analyzing your day, your structure, and what you like to do at different things like that, and see if it allows you to actually move forward or perform a task. Like if you spending 3 or 4 hours on something, right? Like think about that and see if like, all right, so I can really be using this time to do something else. Or like it's like some people, like, you tired, right? And you say to yourself, if I sit down, I ain't getting back up. Right? So even if you know little things like that, that's gonna keep you from performing and doing stuff like that, then you make sure you go the other way or take a more positive route that's gonna actually lead to you doing something that's conducive to success. Knowing yourself.
Who know themselves better than themselves?
Besides God.
Right.
Besides him, you know what I'm saying? You really have to know. You have to explore and be realistic with yourself.
Smart goals.
Hey, come on.
Yeah. Specific, measurable, obtainable, realistic, and timely.
Say that one more time, a little bit louder, so these folks can write this down. Write this
Right,
down.
Smart goals, right? Mm-hmm. Specific.
Come on.
Alright, let's start. Specific, measurable, attainable, timely.
There we go.
No, my bad. I skipped the R, right? Realistic.
There we go.
Timely.
Okay.
You know, I had a little mix up.
It's all good. We all mess up.
It's a real podcast.
Players mess up too.
Right, but check this out. Right. Check this out. We're going to move to the number 7 step. That's track your process.
Oh, track progress.
Progress.
There we go.
My bad. Yeah.
Got to do that, because you gotta have benchmarks, and momentum is real.
That's it.
Momentum is gonna carry you, because if you're marking or you're setting goals and then you're hitting the check, you get in that hit of, as they say, that dopamine or serotonin. It's gonna you get in that feel good endorphin again. And so as you build that momentum, you begin to accomplish things more and more. So you have to do something that's measurable so you can see where you are. Did I live up to it? Did I exceed it, or am I falling short? So then that's how you can find out how you can reach that goal.
It's like even with lifting weights and stuff like that. So with doing a new PR, personal record or something like that, if you try to lift 500 pounds on a deadlift, right, and you see that, all right, my hamstrings are not strong enough to lift this, or my erector muscles in my back or whatever, it's not strong enough, that means that, all right, look, I need to do some rack pulls in order to strengthen these things. I need to do more stiff leg deadlifts, or just different things that's going to help you get to that strong point, right? So even if you're doing a vision board, if you have a 6-month goal, all right, what are the things that you need to do like say, so one action in between his goals or a few actions in between his goals. Say, all right, look, this takes me 2 weeks to hit this, so let me go ahead and do this right now. This is something I can do immediately, and another one I can do immediately, and then you have reached in this 6-month time frame of all the things that you what you need to accomplish, right? So,
and one thing about it too to add, man, once you see that progression, man, that's gonna motivate you even the more.
Yes, it does.
I get in the gym about 1 week, think I'm getting slow.
I look like the Wayne Johnson.
Got it right.
There we go.
All right, so this leaves our last and final step to stay motivated, and it's help others. So that's basically like share some ideas with friends, get motivated, and encourage them. Any you all want to add a little bit more to that?
Greatest feeling of fulfillment.
Well,
Helping somebody else. That is fulfilling your purpose.
Yeah.
That's the reason we're here to serve.
right. To give to somebody. If you realize a lot of our gifts or a lot of our purpose are intertwined with somebody else, and it's serving someone else, it's giving, it's helping, it's making stuff convenient for someone else, right? It's helping somebody else along with their lives. That's what usually our gifts are aligned with, and the thing, and the reason why you have cameramen, right, or things, you know what I'm saying, people, there's a reason why people made the internet, right, because it made the process of life better for someone else. So fulfillment.
Every millionaire that proclaims to be self-made fulfill the service.
There we go. They fulfill the need. They saw a problem. They solved the problem.
Man, so that basically kind of wraps up our episodes. Any final thoughts, fellas?
No, I'm good.
How about you, Coach? You've been moderating real good.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying?
I love you.
We ain't heard too much from Coach Lloyd. You know what I'm saying? We got to get him in there.
You got some nuggets, you got some gems you want to drop real quick?
Drop some. You know
Come on,
what I'm
man.
saying?
Get
Give
with
me
it,
some.
Hey, through it all, man, first believe you can, trust God, man. Stay faithful. Like you said, definitely through adversity, you gotta have a group of people to definitely be around. Because if I'm saying I want to change, I'm gonna change, I gotta be around people who want to actually change. Because you can't change nobody at all. Like, as much as you pray and you want to be like, man, I wish this person to change and stuff, you can't until they get hit this point, like, hey, I believe I can change, then boom, you know, it can, something can happen. Prime example, we all three church going guys. You hear tons of stories about how, you know, people may have been on drugs and then, you know, the Lord blessed them to overturn their life. They definitely had to have the belief system in God first, and definitely the belief system in themselves for them to kind of like overcome it, or else it would have been like, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, nothing gonna move.
And even with life coaching, they got something called LIT, let it go.
That's it. That's
You gotta let it go, man, because
move forward.
even as far as like being in school, when I took some of those social services class, they were like, sometimes you get to the point where you help a person almost to the end, but at the ending point when they almost overcame it, they fall back and relapse, bro.
Wow.
And that's just like a lost cause, because what that brings upon you, heartache, you going home, can't think right and stuff like that, but you gotta just learn how to, you know, get through it, and you can do it.
Certainly.
And you better start by saying,
Let's make it a great day, man.
What?
You gotta make it a great
What
day.
they gotta do?
I mean, they got to get on the grind, though. You know what I'm talking
trying
about? But first,
believe you can.
There we go.
All right, so check this out. Next episode coming to you soon, episode 2.
Yes, sir.
Guess what y'all need to do if y'all don't mind?
like, comment, subscribe,
Subscribe.
right, to the YouTube channel. Go ahead and download that Anchor app, man.
Right.
Or go ahead and visit it online. It's going to be, I believe, on Apple also. So Apple Podcasts is going to be on Anchor, and then we're going to be on YouTube, man. Check all our social media out. Check out our websites if you want to work with us. It's a bunch of different things we can do to help you out, all right?
Hey, we out this thing.
You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, hold on. We are the
Gifted Exchange. See ya.
Peace.
Tickle me elbow.